This Sunday, August 15th, marks the anniversary of the end of the war in the Pacific. I wrote a novel called Star Sand, which is set in Okinawa in April 1945, while the war is still raging there. And this is the English version of the book, Star Sand. I also wrote the same book in Japanese. This is not a translation. This is published by Kodansha, and that's the Japanese version. And for those who are interested in comparative literature, these are two versions of the same novel, but are quite different. And there's also the film, which is even more different. So if you're at all interested in that and you have the time and the inclination, I'd like you to have a look at the two versions, if you can read Japanese, and the movie. And here's the translation in French, which of course I did not do. But if you have French friends who might want to read it, they might want to get this book. So this is the dialogue or the monologue of a 16-year-old girl who's in a cave in Okinawa during the war. And one of the soldiers who's there mentions the word peace. And this is what she says. It was strange to hear that word. I hadn't heard it for years. People talked all the time about the war's beginning, the war's progress, and even the war's end, but no one bothered to mention peace. What, I wondered, would be the state of the world after the war, if not peace? The period of the after-war, that's all it would be. War had to be in every description of an age, in every sentence spoken or thought. There was no past, present, or future. There was only before wartime, during wartime, and after wartime, and the three melded together like differently colored metals in an intense fire, taking a shape when the fire cooled down until the heat rose again, and a new form of the same thing was created, the making and remaking of time itself. Why couldn't I predict my future, know what I would be like in the years to come, how I would act and how I would judge myself after the fact of war, when those metals that made up time had cooled and taken on a new shape? This was what was racing through my mind as I stared into the jagged-edged walls of the cave.